Hello guys, it's official, I'm back, welcome to the channel, welcome to Shay Explores Daily. I forgot to actually record an intro video when I was filming, but let's go and explore the Maldon District. So guys, where is the Maldon District? So the Maldon District, guys, is known as a district of, I'm guessing it's mid-Essex. It's sort of like a hidden gem because there are no train stations really in this district. There's maybe one, I think, but it's mainly accessible via road. The Maldon District is sort of known for its countryside grassland, its river, and so on and so forth. Here you've got a board explaining how the actual locks work. So you can see here, you've got the old steel lock gate, and then you've got the upstream timber gate here as well, basically. So this is a better illustration. So you can see the Heybridge Basin there, where we are, and then the lock is right there. So that is the lock just behind there, basically, pretty much. And then it explains how it works. So essentially, the actual responsibility for keeping the gates at the sea lock operational for Essex waterways and public use is done by Essex and Suffolk Water, basically. So their job is to make sure that this works properly, and essentially all of these boats that you can see here has full access from there out to pretty much the end of the river and to the sea. So in total, the whole navigation is about 14 miles, and it runs all the way from Chelmsford all the way into the Maldon District, and then it ends right here, as you can see. So here you can see the mechanism done to make it open. So you can see here it says clockwise to open and anti-clockwise to close. So it lets you know the direction, the rotational direction it takes to open and close the actual lock. So guys, I've just been told by one of the lovely workers here that they only have crossings in and out of the actual river at certain times of the day, and normally it's at high river, basically. So what they do is they try and get maybe 5 or 6 boats to come line up at the same time, and they'll have a few coming in and a few coming out. Rather than one in, one out every few minutes, it just saves time for the workers. Guys, as you can see, these people here are getting ready to put the boat out, as I mentioned. So we're going to see shortly an example of how it works. So they're waiting for essentially whoever controls the mechanism to make it work. You can see there's a light there, and just waiting to essentially be given the green light for that to open, and then the boat will go straight through and then all the way out. Right guys, so you can see the gate starting to open, and you can see the opening coming there, and then over there in the background you can't see, but that gives you the rough height of the water. But the gate's starting to open now, and that will allow obviously the boats to come in and out, for this lot to come out and the next lot to come in. But you can get an idea of how it pretty much works. The actual yachts are, basically, or small boats, pretty much. They're all based behind there, and along there as well you've got like a pub where you can eat and so on and so forth. And also as well you can actually see another island literally right there. So there is an island between sort of the Maldon District, where we are now, and then the other side, which is the Dengie Peninsula, where you've got like Southminster, Burnham on Crouch, etc. So you can kind of see exactly where we are. As we wait for this one to come in, guys, you can see the right about pubs. You've got the old ship pub there, one there's called the Jolly Sailor, then there's a couple of other pubs as well. But you can see this boat belongs to the East Anglian Sailing Trust. As you can see, they make their way in and they'll park in twos, as you can see over there. So over there the boats are 2 by a side. This one will park behind one of them on one side. So here you can see the boats coming in now. So there's the second boat to come in, that's come in, First one's over there, second one's here. And as you can see, the channels is open. So they'll all come in one by one. The boats will come back in one by one and just do it in a nice orderly fashion, pretty much, as you can see there. So guys, pretty much is the same as before. You've got all the boats in now. You've got 8 in total. You've got 4 this side, 4 that side. And the gentleman at that end will open the lock there. And this will allow the boats to go back, obviously, over to that side and obviously rest. So you can see you've got different crews of people here, and then you can see obviously the flags and the sails, and it goes all the way. They'll go through there and back in. So guys, cool facts, right? So when the boats come back in and they dock, they actually dock sometimes in pairs, because obviously space, as you can see behind me, is quite limited. So they will do something called doubling up, where they just double up together, and then if one wants to leave, the other owner will let the other boat out, basically. But it's just to keep space, obviously, yeah, to make as much space as possible, because obviously space is very, very tight, as you can see behind me. Famous promenade here in Maldon. On the other side, which is where we were before, we're here on this side now. Now this side is a lot more active than the other side. On this side you've got a kids play area, you've got a pond, you've got dog walkers and so on. But sometimes, as you can see, the tide kind of goes in and out. So right now, I don't know if you can see it, but to get out to the water, you'd have to walk on top of the mud, which is obviously quite dangerous, and then get obviously into the water basically. But you can see here the promenade goes all the way down there. Now you can't see it, but in the background right there is a crane. That's where we came from. And then all the way down there is where I told you those tour boats start from. So you can see them right there. You've got Maldon town there, and the boat goes all the way out here, back onto the estuary, out of the estuary, and then round to the other side. So you can kind of see what I was talking about earlier, how the rivers kind of diverge right there on sort of the edge, sort of that area there basically. So here you've got like people racing like little boats and stuff, you've got families and stuff, you've got the parking area, you've got a pond there. And then on this side here, you can see some more boats and stuff, etc. And that's where pretty much the end of the river sort of starts. So this is the plaque to Byrhtnoth, the Earl Dorman of Essex, who lived in the 10th century. It says that he was around 68 when he confronted the Vikings at the Battle of Maldon. He surrendered his life in defence of his people, religion and way of life. Represented in the lower relief panel of the column above it, you will see aspects of the battle in which he died. There he is there, it's a bit dark. You can see he's holding a sword. That's him there, he's got a shield. You can barely see it, and then you've got it's just a pillar basically, pretty much. But yeah, that's meant to be him right here at the end or the start, depending on how you look at it, of the promenade. Now you've got these water safety warnings, guys. Now it's low tide currently, but when it's high tide, the water will typically come up to here, I'm guessing. That's why it's got the warnings, or it'll come at least up to here. So at the moment, there's nothing really here, but when it's high tide, you'll have water literally coming all the way up to here. And obviously it can be quite dangerous to obviously walk, obviously when it's high tide. But you can kind of see here, low tide. And that there, guys, is the Maldon Yacht Club. So that's the Maldon Yacht Club. When the water's better and the tide's in, they'll take the yachts, obviously, and go out to sea. So guys, whilst I walked down the promenade, I thought I'd talk to you about why I was a bit away for a while on YouTube. So obviously I went to Brazil, guys, as you know. Spent 2 weeks there, shot some videos and stuff. And yeah, life just got in the way, guys. When I got back to the UK, things were hectic. Financially for me, job-wise and stuff, and it kind of halted my my YouTube journey, guys. So at the moment, I'm just getting back into it now. I've got many more videos coming, but sometimes, guys, like the amount of time and effort and money it takes to make these videos for you, it's a lot. So thank you for your support. But yeah, it's just been a very, very, very hectic few months. As you can see, you've got the pond in the middle there. As you can see, you can't enter it. Then you've got the boardwalk with all the families and stuff. You've got a little kiosk of ice cream vans, little shops and stuff, and then you can see people sitting down all the way up there. And yeah, you can see it's just a massive area of leisure and so on and so forth. So cool fact, so the park area that you can see here, the park itself goes back to 1895, and it was built to essentially give the people of Maldon some kind of recreational green space to go with their families and so on. Now, what's interesting as well is that I believe this area also hosts an annual mud race, if I'm not mistaken. I'll get that checked. But round here is like the central recreational area for Maldon. You've also got the high street where I came from earlier. There's shops and stuff and so on. But in terms of for a leisure standpoint, this is the main area here of Maldon behind me. See, as I mentioned, you've got the Viking Saga boat trip where you can take from here and from other locations, but it's between 40 minutes, an hour and a half, or 2 hours, and you can do private bookings. But here you can see exactly what it looks like. So guys, behind me, all of these ships, all these boats, essentially I believe are owned by various trusts or various charities. So you can see them all going down there. Along the side you can see signs of each boat, or most of them, and exactly what the history is in terms of when it was built and what it was used for. Let's have a look right now. So this boat belongs to the Steam Tug Brent Trust, based here in Maldon, as you can see. Obviously it's docked at the moment, but you can get a bit more of an idea. They've got heritage open days basically. Here you've got another boat, I think it's called Kitty, as you can see. I'm not sure how long it's been docked here for, but you can see it. You can see how tall it is, pretty much. And you get an idea of pretty much what it looks like. Is it for sale? It says for sale. I'm not sure if it is for sale, but you get an idea of how big it is. Just give you some more information about Cook's Barge Yards. So as you can see, you've got a rough idea of what it looked like in the 60s, pretty much. So this whole area is called that basically, as you can see. But you can see it was with order from James Keble. He was a well-known barge owning family to build the Dawn that Walter Cook took on the yard in 1894, basically. So as you can see, in the 1920s, another lucrative and long-lasting contract resulted from a visit by Josh Francis of Francis and Gilders of Colchester, which owned its own fleet of sailing barges, including many of the Maldon barge fleet. This led to a steady repair work for the next 40 years. So, the last ship, I think, left the shed in 1992, pretty much. And yeah, since then it's just been pretty much what you see here. You can tell by how big this is, because this is quite a big building, a big entrance, the size of the boats that used to essentially go inside here, pretty much. So these here, this one is called a Pudge, and as you can see, it was built, I think, in Rochester, Kent, basically, and you can see the length, the width and depth. Built in 1922 by the London and Rochester Barge Company for the London and Ipswich oil sea trade, and you can see exactly what its history is. So it was actually part of the Dunkirk little ships evacuation troops from Dunkirk as part of the Operation Dynamo under skipper Bill Watson. And as you can see, it's been restored in 2023. And as you see, in the 60s, the engine failed and it went through a variety of turbulent times, but it stands right here in front of me. And you can see the Pudge in London at Woolwich, the Pudge at Maidstone, and yeah, you can see that there. This blue one here in front of me, this small one here right in front of me, is called the Sailorman. So you can see the vital information about it, tonnage, when it was built and so on and so forth, and that is it there. And yeah guys, look, just some more information about cruises and stuff. And you can see the huge variety of boats that you can see here, pretty much. It goes on and on and on. And something that's really cool as well, guys, is if you look down there in the background as well, it looks like some kind of crane. I don't know if that's a crane or whatever, but it looks like some kind of crane. But as you can see, you've got them all there, and then you've got like a ship club. You've got the Maldon Ship Club there. You've got some pubs. And yeah, it's just absolutely phenomenal. So here we are, the Hythe Quay. So you can see it's on the edge of Maldon's iconic waterfront and the highlight for many visitors, basically. The shipyards nearby were formerly called Hedgecock's Yards, which were once the workplace of barge builder John Howard, who built a series of famous barges including the Record Rain and the Stack Quay barge Ready, which is still sailing today. Although no cargo passes through the quay today, it is still busy with charter tours taking place throughout the year aboard the small fleet of preserved Thames sailing barges. These tours often take in the best views of the Blackwater, Crouch and Thames estuaries. At their peak, it was said that there were as many as 2,000 sailing barges operating from Maldon, but sadly only a handful remain in preservation. And here you can see exactly where we are. So you've got the river Blackwater there, pretty much we're here. And then you could actually walk along the river there, and it takes you into the River Chelmer basically, pretty much. There's the museum that I came from earlier. And as you can see, you've got pretty much the Promenade Park here, and it gives you an idea, rough idea of the area itself. There's also two pubs here, so Fish on the Quay and the Queen's Head. These have been open for over a century, so that's the Queen's Head there, and that's the Fish on the Quay. They've been here for over a century and are a key part of this area. That is it, guys, for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Let me know, what do you think? How did it go? In the meantime, I promise to upload more videos more regularly, but I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.